Today is a super important video because I'm going to teach you how Stephen Curry is going to help you master tennis. You heard that right. I promise. You watch this video to the end. It's going to make perfect sense. You're going to be super juiced and you're going to know exactly what it takes to master your tennis game. Steph Curry is now one game away from winning another NBA championship. He is averaging over 30 points in the finals, and everybody now agrees he is the all-time best shooter, bar none. How did he get to be the best shooter? And in my opinion, maybe the best dribbler ever. Is he's obsessed and he follows a system. Those are the two secrets, but there's a very specific system of practice you've got to follow if you want to reach your full potential. What I love about Steph Curry, he's also got a training series he calls Underrated. Why did he name it Underrated? Because his whole life growing up, he's been underrated. People didn't think he was going to be good enough. They didn't think he was going to be big enough. They didn't think he was NBA material. So if you're watching this video and you're saying, well, Steph Curry's just so talented, that's how he made it. I've got news for you. He was underrated. He worked harder than everybody, continues to work harder than everybody, and that's how he became and is still holding that title of the best shooter in the world. So to become the best that you can be, it takes a very specific system you need to follow. I call it a closed to open system. And most people playing tennis, especially recreational tennis, don't know what I'm talking about. How do I know this? Because I run camps all the time. I ask people, do you practice in a closed to an open environment? They don't know what that means. And that's the secret that elite athletes all follow, whether it's Rafael Nadal or Stephen Curry, that you're not doing. So if you take notes and watch this video, you're going to learn how to practice just like professional athletes who develop and master their craft. This is the secret. All right, here we go. What is a closed environment? A closed environment is taking away as many variables as possible. All right, so that's why you're going to see in this video, as I'm showing you, Steph Curry all the time is by himself, practicing a bunch of different dribbling drills by himself, different dribbling patterns, different shooting patterns. We're showing him right here in the gym. He's not way back. He says, I don't start way back jacking up threes. That's not the way I do it. I work on my fundamentals. I actually start very close to the basket, and I've got to see that ball go in perfectly every time. That builds my confidence and that builds my fundamentals. He talks about the importance of mastering the fundamentals, that you got to get those fundamentals as close to perfect as possible so when you're out there under pressure, you can deliver. So Steph is always practicing in very controlled environments by himself and with his coaches, with his shooting coach. They sit there and they practice hitting shot after shot in certain spots of the court that they know that Steph is going to get looks at. And so that is super important when you are developing your tennis game, is that you're just not going out there and watching a video like this and thinking, okay, this is great, it's going to work on my match tonight. Guess what? It's not. Like Steph Curry says, if I shoot 100 3-pointers and if I can make 87 threes in practice, then I know that's going to equal out to about 60 threes in a game, okay? So it's that importance of also practicing with numbers. That's another thing that I like to do. I do a bunch of 7-day serve challenges, forehand challenges, backhand challenges, volley challenges. If you're interested in one of those, make sure that you click up here. You can start with one of my challenges by clicking that nice eye icon right there, going into the description box, because we practice, believe it or not, in the same exact system that Stephen Curry does. We take all the variables away. We make sure that our swing path is absolutely perfect, and then we add on and we make things more complicated. So what's Steph going to do after he does all his dribbling skills by himself, after he is in the gym, standing super close to the basket at the beginning, making sure everything is perfect, and then eventually backing up? What he's going to do after that is him and his coach are going to start to apply pressure still in a closed environment. So in this next thing I'm showing you, what Steph is doing is he's got to make 5 out of 7 shots in each area of the court, and he's got to do it under 2 minutes. Why is this so important? Well, first of all, it's important because there's still no one jumping at him in his face, okay? There's no one guarding him, so he still has a very controlled environment to execute in, but now he's applying pressure to himself. And if he doesn't make those 5 out of 7, what he's got to do is he's got to go back to the previous spot and do it again. I love this. I love this from Steph Curry. Okay, so this is another important piece of the practice. If you're going out there and you're just hitting buckets of serves and you have no idea how many you're making, you don't know if you're getting better or not. And Steph Curry, when he talks about shooting fundamentals, he says, every week I know if I'm getting better because I track all my numbers. I know how many out of 100 I'm making from Monday to Friday. And he does it over and over again. So this is a writer downer because a lot of tennis players are not willing to do this.
What you want to compare yourself to is how many shots did I make yesterday versus today? Am I getting better? Am I challenging myself? Am I pushing myself to the next limit? Best way, obviously, is to just count your makes. For me, I shoot 100 threes to end every workout. And I know based on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, how if I can get better, and I set a goal for myself. And you don't leave the gym until you get better. So being able to track those stats and track your progression and give yourself a goal to reach is the best way to compare yourself to yourself and get better.
Another secret to Steph's success is that he rinses and repeats all the time. And he does the simple basics all the time. He doesn't get bored with the basics. Many tennis players, I'll ask them to practice the serve right up on the service box and then work their way back. And then they'll do it maybe the week of the serve challenge, but then after that I follow up my students. How many times have you done it? Well, you know, I did it like once, like 3 or 4 months ago. No, it's every single day. It's Monday through Friday, so you keep doing the same things over and over again. And here's another thing he does. You know, every game, before a game, he's bouncing the ball, 2 balls at a time and doing it. But him and his coach will also figure out, well, how can we add a wrinkle? How can we make it more challenging? The coach says, I'm always looking for my students to start like sticking their tongue out or, you know, breathing differently, things that know that he's adding a challenge to it. So once you learn and you're mastering something, you keep doing the same thing, but then you add a wrinkle to it. This is super important. So Steph practicing under pressure in a very controlled environment. What does he do after he practices in that very controlled environment? He's making that 5 out of 7. What he's going to do then is you're going to simulate sparring. You notice that in this video I'm showing you, there's people, as Steph is just taking the ball and doing this, there's people hitting him. So he gets used to feeling what it's like to feel that competition and people hitting on him. You can see Steph doing a drill right here to where he's practicing where they're running around in a chair. And then Steph is actually, he's helping students and he's holding up his hand. So now they've got a shot, they've got a hand in their face as they practice their shot, but it's still very much under control. Do you see what we're doing? Now we started completely closed, no variables, super simple. We're not keeping score. Now all of a sudden we're keeping score by ourselves. Now we have people hitting on us. Now we're sticking hands in faces. What's the next thing? We got to open up practice a little more to where now we're playing practice games against each other. So now it's live. We're playing practice games against each other. We're trying to make it as competitive as possible. So when we play a game, we're always used to playing high intensity, really trying to win each game as we go there, but still working on our fundamentals. And then finally, the ultimate open is game day. That's Steph in the finals. That's how he's able to do all these things that you see him do in these games where he dribbles and goes through everybody and then hits amazing layups. And then he also hits those big time shots because he's practicing all these moves over and over again from a closed environment, very controlled, where he can really focus on all his moves. And then he gradually opens it up and makes it more challenging, starts to keep score, starts to have people stick their hand in their face, starts to play practice games until he's in the real game. And this is the secret to success, and this is what you're missing. You're skipping steps, you're watching YouTube videos, then you're trying to apply it into your match the next day. You're going out there to your clinics and you're just going right into an open environment where the coach is feeding the ball and you're playing out points, but you don't know what your fundamentals are. You're not videoing yourself. These are the mistakes you're making, and here's the most important thing that you're missing. is that you're never too good to do these drills. This is the number one tip I can really tell you, is you're never too good to do these drills and skills and go back. The secret is to rinse and repeat, to do it over and over again, to not think that you're too good to outgrow these drills. And I think this is a big mistake that recreational players make. They sort of do the drills the first time to kind of get the idea, and then they think they're done. You see Steph, he never outgrows it. He's always going to start close to the basket, going back, starting in that very controlled environment where he can really focus on his fundamentals. Then he's going to add challenges to himself and keep score, so he knows exactly how many he's making when no one's in his face. Then he's going to ask people to get in his face and stick their hand there. Then he's going to start playing practice games. Then he's going to go to the full game. This is what you need to add into your tennis game. Now the cool thing is I do this for you. I do what are called 7-day challenges, and I work in this exact system to where you can do it 100% on your own, and you're really aware of your fundamentals. I'm even there to help you. I'm even coaching you and showing you what you're doing right and wrong. You can send in videos. But more important than that is I show you how to build things in step-by-step micro progressions, just like Steph Curry would on the basketball court, just like Rafael Nadal is going to do on the tennis court. How to keep score, how to track your own score, and I preach and pray that you will rinse and repeat if you truly want to master this game of tennis. So if you're interested in that, click up here in the card section, go down in the description box, sign up if you really want to master your game. This is Pete from Crunch Time Coaching. We'll see you on the next video.